Well, I got some bad news. Apparently after my last video there, my Bondo sponsorship has been terminated. They tell me that my attitude and my workmanship is incompatible with their company policy. And that's not very good because I have two dents on the top of this cowl panel here that need to be repaired. See one right here. See, I sanded around it. You can see where the sander touched. It's shiny, and we've got a pretty big crease right here. Yes, you can all see that. Good. We also have the same exact situation over here. See where the paint is. There's a dent through here. Feels like it's in a bit through here, and a little dent right here. You will see that. Not quite as bad as the other side, but still there. So we're going to attempt to repair both of these dents the old-fashioned way without using any Bondo. couple of very minor little divots. So I'm going to switch from this tip on my bullseye pick over to this one. Now I don't usually use this one except for just getting that last couple minor imperfections out. Normally this is too aggressive. sharper tip here. Got a couple little spots along the edge. There's a completed repair. Now I know using the file often triggers people, so I just wanted to point out all these little dark spots, these lines here. This is all just very, very fine rust pitting. It's so fine that I can't even feel it with my finger, but obviously you can see it. And we use the file on this, and all of that rust pitting is still there. So I learned to do this on 22 gauge sheet metal, which is quite thin, and none of us managed to poke a hole through the 22 gauge when we were learning, and I still haven't managed to poke a hole with anything with a file. That being said, you can definitely make a hole with a grinder pretty fast, but so we ground over to remove the file marks. Well, you still got to use a grinder to put scratches in for your filler to stick. So either way, you're going to be using a grinder on it. There's no way out unless you start with a truck that isn't garbage. Now I kept kind of a timer going, and total time I have in this repair is 29 minutes, just over 29 minutes. And that includes the time it took me to go look for tools and take off my jacket partway through. Because I wasn't very organized, this was just a last minute thing. There wasn't even supposed to be a video out today. But I figured as long as I'm doing it, I might as well film it. The actual footage that you're going to be watching is probably a little bit shorter because I edited out the parts where I wasn't actually working on this. But all of the actual working, if I had been organized and whatever, is what you're going to see in the video. So you can get an idea of how long this took. Now for me, even with the time I wasted, there's no way personally that I could have got this in filler ready for primer in the time that I have in it now. And like, this is ready to go. There's nothing else needed. There's no pinholes. There's no messing about. Just prime it, give it a quick block over, and that's ready to go. There's no messing around beyond that. That's just for me personally. Like I said, there's just no way I could have roughed out the damage, ground the panel for filler, mixed up my filler, applied the filler, let the filler set up, which is kind of passive because you can work on something else while it's setting up. Then sand the filler to completion, ready for primer with no pinholes, nothing else, ready to go in 29 minutes. I mean, there's probably people that can, but I can't personally. So for me, this repair is faster. Not always going to be faster this way. If this was smashed right in or whatever, or it's not, I don't know, a big roof dent or something, well, you're not going to be metal finishing that in 29 minutes or less. So there's time and place for everything. One way isn't better than the other way, just different way of doing things. This was the most efficient way to get this task done. And also, material costs. I didn't spend anything on filler. I didn't spend anything on sandpaper. Well, you could say I did use the grinder and the orbital sander, but this disc is used. I used it to strip the paint off the back of the cab. It's not a fresh disc, it's already been used. And that one I used for sanding the top of this cowl off in preparation for the video. So, material costs to do it this way, basically zero. With filler, that costs money, costs sandpaper, everything else, and that stuff's just getting more and more expensive. So this is, like I said, I'm not saying one way's better than the other way, and we still have filler work to do, obviously, but in this case, this was the fastest way for me. This is the way it was done in the 1940s, 1950s, 1930s, you know, back in the day. So period correct repair, not always the best way, but it's the way I'm doing it. Well, I gotta give a shout out to whoever was plowing the streets yesterday, because they didn't pile a huge bunch of snow in front of this thing. And I mean, they very well could have, because this thing ain't exactly passing off as a roadworthy vehicle, but saves me a bit of shoveling. But either way, it's still buried in here. But it's balmy -10 degrees Celsius today, and this is probably going to be the warmest day we're going to get in a while, so I got to get this thing fired up and moved into the garage, and hopefully it doesn't get stuck. Actually surprised this thing managed to drag itself out of here. Snow is packed right in tight around the axle, and as you can see, it leaves a trail of rust everywhere it goes. This thing was literally buried right up to the axles in snow. It's like old time's sake. Anyways, GMC is back in the shop, and we're just letting it defrost here, which is going to take a while. In the last video, a couple of you were asking about the corner windows, whether we were still doing that. Yes, absolutely, that's been the plan all along. But what has to happen is I need to get this truck completely stripped down, basically to the frame. Then I have to put that cab onto this frame, and once that cab is on, then I'll do the corner windows. I didn't want to be out in the snow cutting these out of the cab, because eventually this still has to come in, and well, I don't know what exactly the plan is yet for grafting these in. There's kind of the way to do it, and then there's the way that I'm going to have to do it, which I don't really know exactly how it's going to work yet, but I have to work around all of the rust on and damage on both of these cabs. So it's going to be kind of a convoluted thing, but we'll figure it out as we go, and once I have a plan, you'll all be the first to know, because you'll be watching me do it. Anywho, the plan for today was originally to knock out these dents, do a little bit of body work on the driver's side cowl, and then get the firewall on this painted. And we also had to get the GMC moved in today. And obviously, well, firewall's not painted. It's now 10 o'clock at night, and I'm just finishing up editing this video. So, and filming this outro. So by the time I get that done and the video uploaded to Patreon without ads, it's going to be like, well, probably 1 in the morning. And I still have to upload it as well to YouTube for all you guys. And then I have to get up early in the morning tomorrow and then do all the configuration in YouTube Studio or whatever to get the video ready for viewing. So, another busy day. Hopefully we can get the firewall painted sometime tomorrow, who knows. But anyways, next video is probably going to be stripping apart this truck. Like I said, it's got to completely come apart. Cab's got to come off, all that, and then I got to get the new cab mounted on. Or other issue is I've been choosing to conveniently ignore this, but the roof on this thing is just absolutely hammered. I don't know, it doesn't really show up on camera. You can see somebody's tried to hammer it out already, and it's just slow here. It's totally caved in at the back, which you can't really see, but it's in there, I can assure you. And along here, it's caved in, kicked in here. The whole back is like this. And I know I said on the last video that we were done rust repair, but well, we're not. I've just been leaving this until the end, hoping it would solve itself, but it hasn't. So we got to deal with that as well. And now that we did all the work on the rest of this cab, well, now I don't really have the option of scrapping this cab, so we got to do something about that. And of course, it's rusted out on the outside as well, so issues there. Like I said, we got rust and dents and all kinds of things to work out when we do the corner window splice, which is probably going to be 2 or 3 videos from now. I know all of you have been patiently waiting for that, but that's the thing with this stuff, is it's all one thing before the next. You know, it probably makes more sense to fix this roof with the cab being off, because I got good reach to it right now, even though I don't want to. It's gonna make life easier to fix it now, so I should probably do that. And then of course I'm gonna have to record it for you fine folks, so that's more time. And next thing you know, it's well, it'll be 2023 already, and this thing's still gonna be in here. So I don't know. Anyways, thanks everyone for watching this one. I hope you enjoyed it. It was kind of a last minute thing. That wasn't part of the plan, but you know, got to feed the algorithm. So we'll catch you on the next one, I hope. And thanks to everyone for commenting. I love reading your comments. And thanks to all the likers and dislikers and subscribers and unsubscribers. And special thanks to all the people doing the super thanks and super chats. And of course, as always, all of our patrons. So take care, everyone. And we'll be back again soon on the GMC doing more stuff.